Arteta denied in the past that, and also pre-match, that there was indeed any rift brewing between himself and Aubameyang, his captain. But Arteta's actions speaking louder than his words. So we didn't see him. We didn't see him for some time. And then when he did come on, he didn't get up to much. No. What is going on? This isn't the Aubameyang that we saw pre-contract. This is the one post-contract.
Yeah, I mean,
is there a significant difference there?
Dropping players isn't beyond the gift of a manager, and it doesn't necessarily mean a rift. It means that a manager doesn't quite, at this moment in time, feel that the player is performing at a certain level. And because of the nature of this player, because of the contract he's been given 18 months ago, because of the captaincy, which probably were all ill-advised at the time, despite the best endeavours of mice and men, and of mice and men I mean Martin Keown to defend Pierre last Friday, you're sitting in a situation where the player's out of sorts. He's not playing particularly well. He doesn't particularly provide the greatest of goal threats. He might be a goal threat in the minds of defenders, but when it comes to execution, you saw it last night. You get one chance as a top quality striker. At the end of the game, you take it. This is Chelsea's challenge with Timo Werner.
Yeah,
now, of course, Aubameyang is a far more prolific goal scorer in English football than Werner. But I look at it and say, why did he put on Eddie Nikita, and he's a contract person that won't sign a contract. Maybe that's why he put him on. Maybe he wants to show to him that he's going to support him and give him an opportunity, and maybe there's a bigger picture there. But I look at it and say, it's incumbent upon the player to earn the right to play, not the manager to give that player just his head because of who he is. And Martin was making the point on Friday about how you handle these sort of players and making a case for Aubameyang being Thomas Tuchel talking about him and how he was always late, but we allowed him that position at Dortmund because of the nature of his performance. Yeah, but he's the captain of Arsenal. You can't have that sort of disposition.
Sure.
Now, of course, since the contract, the narrative has been, got a new contract. We saw all that crap with the egg timers and all that sort of stuff. Like we're all waiting, they were bated breath because he's going to sign a contract.
Yeah.
Right? And ultimately, what we've seen after that is a poor set of performances. Yes, there are points behind that where he's had challenges in his personal life with his personal health, the health of members of his family.
Yeah.
And you've seen that impact in boxing when Anthony Yard talks about his fight a year ago when losing to Lyndon Arthur, how he was affected by the adversity in his family and the health issues that he had.
Of course, and we have to make allowances for that.
So you have to make allowances for
it.
But I don't know if it's a rift. I mean, obviously, the people that will understand, when you hear Thierry Henry talking about,
something's not right.
That's probably because he knows something's not right, because they can't say it in the media, but they can allude to it, and everyone else can run off and start to paint colour in the colour in the gaps.
Well, that's right. But Simon, Arsenal get a manager here though. Arteta, who's into sending messages of his own. He's a message sender, and I'll give you an example of that. Hauling off Kieran Tierney last night. That's just a little message out there. Is it to Tierney? What is it? Is he 100% happy with Tierney? Who knows? Putting Nketiah on, as you know, who's stalling on a contract before he's captain Aubameyang.
But why is that not simply that Kieran Tierney hasn't played for 3 or 4 weeks, might have been a bit fatigued, and they think that they change him to give him. They've started him. If you were going to make a point, you wouldn't start him. They've started him. The hauling off dynamic is a terminology that we're using to heighten the sense of a challenge there, rather than the game itself might have needed a change, and Tierney was blowing.
Yeah, but what's the message? Tierney was fit.
Is it a message?
He's been fit for the last fortnight.
But he's not match fit.
Arsenal fans wanted to see him last night.
Yeah, and what he's got is a squad of players that the manager, when Klopp does things in a certain way, we praise it because success is coming at the end of it. When he does things in a certain way, we'd say it's sending a message. He believes that Tavares was entitled to have an opportunity after a mistake at Anfield because there was more benefit in ensuring this player's head was right rather than going, boom, consequence. I
know what you're saying, but when Klopp changes things, he gets results.
Some would say...
Arteta doesn't. It's not working for him.
But Klopp has got a better group of players, has had a better group of players for some time.
Simon, there's a mini pile-on at the moment with Arsenal fans getting in touch. I'm not
defending Arteta. I've told you that I don't think he's the end game. I've said to you, I think he's all theory and no delivery.
Well, that's what I mean. That was precisely what I mean.
But you have to start.
Why send all these messages?
But you have to start with. But we're assuming it's a message or it's a simple managerial decision. If Eddie Nketiah, and by the way, he should have scored. And if he'd have scored, would we be having this conversation? He hit the post.
Are Arsenal fans out there this morning baffled that he brings on Nketiah, who's in a contact dispute, before he brings on Aubameyang?
But common sense prevails. If Aubameyang's out of sorts, which we saw when he came on because he did the square root of nothing, and when he had an opportunity, he missed it, and Eddie Nketiah comes on, who might need the reassurance of a contract, might need the reassurance of the fact that he's valued at Arsenal, put him on and give him some value. Where's the message in this?
Well, Arsenal fans aren't having it. Matt, this morning, we were gutless. We had no direction, no leadership. After half-time, 1-0 up, we should have killed off the game. It was pathetic that we didn't. Michelle, big Arsenal fan. The truth is, we were weak, poor, and as per usual, Arteta, made the wrong decisions in terms of selection and substitutions. Key, substitutions.
Well, you say that, but Eddie Nketiah should have scored. He got himself in a position where he should have scored, and it was very small margins that didn't, whereas Aubameyang came on and did bugger all. Did nothing besides miss a really good chance. Now, you look at the situation, and I don't disagree, but Arsenal have been gutless for how long? This isn't a new phenomenon. They were gutless under Unai Emery. They were gutless at the end of Arsene Wenger. They're gutless now. But the challenge is that there are very few top Premier League clubs now that you can't levy that accusation at times, because leadership is so rare in football now that you're not seeing a lot of character, a lot of leaders.
Simon, I get it, but is it the right leadership? Let me compare the Chelsea situation with the Arsenal situation. So a contract dispute of some sort is going on with Nketiah, yet he throws him on. Arteta throws him on. Tuchel and Christensen. Christensen doesn't play.
Because there's a different dynamic to that one, because Christensen has got himself in a situation where he's not walking the talk. He said he's going to do something and then doesn't do it. So Tuchel being Tuchel, with all the juice in the world, because at the time they were top of the Premier League, European champions, has got the wherewithal to say, I can marginalise you because I've got the ability to do so. Arteta doesn't have the same dynamic, so you can only manage what's in front of you. But I go down the route of agreeing with the sentiments that you're deploying and the Arsenal fans. It's not good enough. What you saw from Arsenal like last night, I've got a lot of Arsenal fans, a really influential Arsenal fan texted me last night, that's it, I'm going to go and watch Wildston. I can't watch this anymore. Right? Because he's looking at it going, this isn't good enough.
It's
Saka,
good enough.
Tierney, good enough. The rest of them, devoid of any inspiration or any idea.
Yeah. Arsenal fans, I wonder where your heads are this morning. This was a game you should have won. To be honest, when you look at it, Odegaard scores, you're in front for a long, long time. You got the breaks. VAR gave you the breaks. Even Ben Godfrey got a break, but that's another matter. But Arsenal looked like winning a game that they eventually lost. And are you in fear that will happen again?
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.